Morning, morning, everybody. It's Michelle here. And I'm not going to put some dates in this because I may come back and talk again about something else throughout the day. And like I said, it's documented in the cell phone what the date is. So if somebody wants to confirm when I'm saying things and doing things, just go back to the cell phone. It's documented. The date is right there. I can't alter the date as well. But anyway, I thought I'd get up. This is how I usually do. I get up in the morning. I'd have my tea and some breakfast. I kind of laid off the coffee for a while, just to kind of detox myself from coffee. I love coffee now. Don't get me wrong, but I just want to detox from that for a bit, and make sure I don't have too much caffeine in my body because I don't need no more caffeine than what I have. You know that comes naturally from me, I guess, or whatever. Because I have a lot of I guess a lot of stored energy, and I do everything I can to kind of not not overstretch and overuse my energy and put any more pressure on my body than I need to do. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about and I may do it in a series of videos about how you can see. In one of the videos I said, and it's true, and so let me first make a disclaimer. The disclaimer is, please just relax. Please, everybody, relax and breathe and not take everything so seriously right now, even though we're living during some serious events in our lives, whether it's the weather, whether it's the climate, whether it's the environment, whether there's something personal, health wise, and the list can go on and on and on. So I just want everyone to, if you can, just kind of relax, just relax and do whatever you can to see if you can just kind of, and I'll probably do a video as well on how I kind of, get it together, so that I can function fully at a high level, and not get myself so wrapped up in irrelevancy, because irrelevancy is giving too much reign over our life and existence. And we need, if you can, you need to try to simplify your life as best you can, and get rid of irrelevancy. I've advocated for that for a while. But anyway, so I want to kind of introduce some techniques, some of the techniques that have helped me over the course of my life. Um, to just get it together, and see if I can develop myself properly so that I can manage myself properly so that I can exist properly. And that that is so important, to just exist properly, exist naturally, exist without all the unnecessary baggage and pressure on me, and pressure on my life, and pressure on people that I hope to get with and be with, and and love, and so forth and so on. Anyway, so but this is so I said something because I was thinking, um, talking to some friends that I used to we used to do videos and stuff together, a few years ago, and and they're getting ready to launch something really special, because if we can help people, we're going to help people. And this group of people, they're young, uh, on the science. They're into science, they're into space, they're into the future, they're into technology, those kind of things. And so they allowed me to hang out with them, maybe like 5 years ago or so. They allowed me to hang out with them, and I was like, an elder, whatever, whatever. a woman with some, to share some wisdom towards them and just help them, like a mother would, like a sister would, like a lover would, a friend would. I was just there to assist and give my opinions, and it was fun. So I was listening to some of those videos the other day, and I plan on finishing up on listening to them because I'm just going to put some content out, put it out there and let the chips fall where they may, because it is, and so I was listening into one of the videos, and I said something, and I just want to clarify. I said that I used to journal since a young girl, and I still have all of those documents and blah blah blah. Well, it wasn't until recently, when I started looking for some material and doing everything I can to like kind of put some puzzles together in my life, because there are some puzzles missing. There are some missing pieces and certain stuff that happened in my life, and if I, and I'll say something about that in a minute. But anyway, so what I used to do is rely on my journals. I used to just have stuff coming out of my mind, out of my thoughts, and I would journal, put them down in my journals. Oops. All right. Good morning. That's an official good morning right there. So that I didn't have to think about so many things, because I'm a visual person, and I can't handle a lot of details. That is, that has been something that I'm glad I discovered it. And I wish I had discovered it earlier in my life. It would have made my life so much simpler and easier for me to to function, without being so disruptive to myself and to other people. And so what I would do is so that I didn't have to keep, because my memory, I just, like I said, I was a visual person, and I can visually remember things, but sometimes the details would escape me. So I used to journal stuff down. I used to have a journal, and we used to call them diaries back in the day when I was a young girl. Journaling things and putting things in a diary, until my nosy relatives and my nosy siblings and some of even my friends were going into my diaries and into that personal details and stuff about myself. And I just thought that was such an invasion. And I didn't understand why would people do that anyways, but anyway, let's not get off track here. So I would journal things, and that way, like I said, I didn't have to keep remembering so many things like this and that and the other. So I did that. And, but during the course of time, and moving around, I realized I lost a lot of those documents. Like my high school yearbook, I had a lot of documents in there I can remember. And I can remember storing stuff in a storage unit or storage facility back in the day. And I can remember all, and now, no wonder I couldn't find things when I was in my house here. I thought I had everything here, in storage containers, and I realized those things were lost. Some of those were screenplays, which I don't, screenplays, and so, like I said, my journals, and so most of what I have as far as journals or diaries are concerned start from 1999 until sometime during this present time, because over the course of time I stopped journaling and just relied on, and the reason I stopped journaling is I started meditating in 1989, and so for those of you who know about meditation is about no thought. Essentially, you're just sitting there and you are just breathing, and you're doing everything you can to manage your thoughts to where you're not focused on your thoughts. It is no thought. Okay. And so during the course of that meditation practice, what it did was it kind of cleared out my memory of, okay, let's put it this way. My memories went into a storage cabinet or file cabinet. That's where my memories went. Okay, my memories are not gone. You don't ever lose memory. Okay, despite what anybody says. And, look, okay, let me make another disclaimer. This is for entertainment purposes only. These are Michelle's theories. These are Michelle's opinion. And they don't mean what? Shit. Okay, it don't mean not a goddamn thing. All right, let's make sure I put that out there. So with meditation, what it does is it just clears up all of these thoughts, constantly circulating in your brain or in your mind or in your memory or whatever, in your brain, all right, which is a computer. And, and it just puts them in a file cabinet. They go into a file cabinet. Okay, your memories don't ever leave you. They're there. And if you need to bring up your memories, you can. Now, there's a lot of controversy with people attempting to hypnotize people. Hint, and conjure up information out of people that way during a hypnosis, or some strong subjective, I guess. Subjective. I think I'm not saying the right word, but they're like influencing you in a strong manner, where they're trying to conjure up information out of you. Okay, and there's a reason why that doesn't work anymore. Okay, because it could be subjective. Okay, it could be abstract. Okay, it can be imagined. It can be a projection. It can be anything. So it's not reliable. Now hypnosis is used. I know it is. Hint. And I know people rely on it. And it does. It's like everything else, people. It's just a tool. Everything's a tool. Meditation, a tool. But we don't take things like that. We turn things into something that they were not meant to be. And it's manipulation, and it's sometimes on a form of dishonesty and deception. But that's just my opinion again. Anyway, so with meditation is doing is it's like no thought. You're not thinking about anything but breathing. That's what meditation is. And that's more important than trying to remember things. I know people like to stay in their memories and they're motivated by memories. But it's more important to be present and listen to information coming into you, which is creative energy. Creative energy. And what that does is create inside of you something more magnificent than you will ever conjure up by trying to force memories out of people, to be honest with you. Anyway, so the memories don't go anywhere per se. They're just stored in a certain container in your brain. And yes, if necessary, you can kind of have somebody help you pull it out of you. But again, it can be subjective. It could be, it all depends on the person doing it, because, whoever's attempting to hypnotize, what's their agenda? What's their intention? So it always has to be a sort of a neutral engagement. This person, what's their background and all this and that and the other? What's their background in their need to hypnotize? Okay, and what's their background in their situations with their memories? So So that's what meditation has done for me. Meditation has allowed me to have no thought, you know, and I can build it up, for it's like no thought and just concentrating and breathing, and allowing natural allow natural blah, allow natural creative energy to flow through you. That's the inspiration you need, to be a fully functioning, developing human being. And you're going to feel like you're on top of the world once you allow that stuff to come through. And you don't have to, like I said, rely on your memories. But they're there. Your memories are there. But remember, those memories are... So what meditation has done for me, yeah, those memories are there. But there's no emotional or feeling attached to them. So I can remember them, but I don't necessarily need to be in the feelings or emotions of how those memories happened or occurred. I can talk about them without conjuring up emotion and feelings. Is basically how I've developed via meditation. Now, a lot of people like to hold on to the feelings and the memories of stuff because it just because a lot of people say, well, it brings back memories, or it just reminds me of my childhood, and a lot of people just like to stay attached to that, and that's to each his own. Do what makes you happy, but again, if you really want to have a spark of creativity, meditate with no thought and allow that to naturally flow into you, and you'll be amazed how much you'll shift from one place to another. Now, you have to keep in mind that the creativity can appear positive or negative, and or this and that and the other, but you have to make sure you neutralize in that. You don't just want to get in just positive inspiration. You want some negativity as well, so you can neutrally have that all neutralized, neutrally positive, so that you'll be able to function naturally, and you're not fluctuating so high on emotions and feelings. Because you know how some people are when they get some creativity going. Oh my God. You know how we do. We make all these plans, and we say all these things about what we're gonna do, and then we get ourselves way too enthusiastic, and sometimes we get so stuck in that we don't even get started on the we don't even get started on the creativity project, and then we end up having so many, and then we don't even know which one to choose from. We have too much stuff going on at one time, or at many times, because, and that's how my brain was working. I was always coming up with ideas, creativity, and that's because I'm visual. So I was just taking in all this stimuli, and I got overly stimulated, and then so I wasn't not hearing properly, but I wasn't paying attention to people trying to talk to me because I'm so all out in space and carrying on, being disruptive in class, and good grief. So I had to manage myself and get myself under control, and I did that perfectly, in my opinion. It's hard to get me rattled, but I get there. But I calm myself down. I know how to calm myself down if I choose to. Now, if I want to stay all revved up and carrying on, and hey, I can do that. But then, I'll take it down, and it's like, So I do everything I can to manage my emotions and feelings when I'm dealing with things, and not get myself all, So, and some people will say, well, gosh, she just don't have no feelings about nothing, or no emotions. No, that's not true at all. At all. That's just the most, and we say that a lot about people because of how they process things. I just know how to manage myself and keep myself calm and under control, because I know what can happen to me if I get out of control. I will either be in prison by now, or I will be committed in a hospital, or I'll be dead. Okay, that's what the options are. Okay, so that's why I have to manage myself, and that's what I tell my young my young female relatives, you know, do everything in your power to manage how you are interacting with people, because you will always seem to be the target if something gets out of control. And you want to make sure you stay managed, okay, and being realistic, okay, and be able to effectively convey what you are experiencing with this situation, whether it's a person or place or a thing. Okay, it's about managing your emotions and feelings. Okay, because like I said, if I want to get revved up, I would be in prison by now. I probably would have harmed somebody, committed, dead. All those could have played a role in my life if I hadn't gotten myself under control and being someone that's visually stimulated and not being able to express myself and my thoughts properly, and so get misunderstood, because I realized as well, I remember I did have a speech issue growing up as a little girl, and I remember I had to take some speech classes, in order to speak clearly and effectively so that I can be understood, because that's so important. But sometimes when I get a little, excited, I notice I do stutter. And it was a stutter. It was a type of speech stutter I had when I was a young girl growing up. And I had to learn how to relax and speak clearly and effectively so that people can understand what my needs are and not see me as a threat, or that I got some problems, or I need to be committed, I need to be taking medication. And that's what's happening. We just want to throw medication in people's mouths, and that's way out of my control, and I'm not going to entertain it or talk about it because I can't control it. Anyway, so I just wanted to go ahead and give you a little taste of what I'm about to talk about. I'll come back on another video, and it's going to be dealing with beliefs, and I'm going to help you to kind of unravel some of these beliefs and dissolve them, okay, so that we can start dealing with reality and dealing with facts, dealing with you're just dealing with what's presently in front of us, ahead of us, that we can resolve without being trapped in a belief, because beliefs make you stuck. You are stuck if you have beliefs. And don't beat yourself up about it. Be gentle with yourself. I'm going to do everything I can to help you manage them. Well, I'm going to help you with beliefs to unravel them and dissolve them completely forever. And you will only be dealing with reality. And then you'll see why I'm enthusiastic most of the time, why I'm happy most of the time. I don't need to be motivated. You don't have to motivate me. You don't have to encourage me. I am naturally motivated now. I am naturally encouraged. And I'm naturally enthusiastic about my life and my future. And so I'm going to help others to know what that feels like. And, and take it from there. Peace and love. I'll be back later in today and give some information on how to unravel beliefs so that you can be free. You will be free.